Today we publish the first Fraser of Allander economic commentary for 2019 in conjunction with Deloitte. In the report we provide our latest assessment of economic conditions in Scotland, the UK and internationally, and we update our forecasts for the next 3 years. We also publish 4 articles. One by Jim Cuthbert on the Scottish Futures Trust hub schemes, 2 articles by Scottish Enterprise on measuring Scotland's economic performance and sectoral influences on Scotland's productivity, and one by Alistair Ray, Ruth Hamilton and Alan Faulds about local government boundary reforms. As you might expect, we attach some health warnings to our forecasts at this time, given the ongoing uncertainty that surrounds the UK's exit from the EU. The decision to grant an extension to October of this year has reduced the immediacy of any abrupt change for now, but we simply do not know how decisions in Westminster or Brussels will pan out over the coming weeks and months. Moreover, the smoothness or otherwise of the UK's withdrawal from the EU is but one step in the process. Negotiations on the terms of our future relationship with the EU have yet to begin in earnest. In the light of all this, we present a series of scenarios for how the Scottish economy may evolve over the next 3 years. Of course, the exact timings will depend upon the outcome of the still uncertain political process, but they are designed to give an indication of the scale of the impacts. In our central forecast, we continue to assume that the UK makes an orderly departure from the EU, although uncertainty continues to impact on investment and private sector spending decisions for some time yet. As a result, and in light of the weakening outlook for investment, we have lowered our forecast a little to 1.1% for 2019 and 1.4% and 1.5% for 2020 and 2021 respectively. So whilst the risk of a no deal has fallen back in recent days, it cannot be ruled out. So to illustrate this, we have developed a worst case scenario where the UK leaves in a disorderly fashion. Here we would forecast that Scotland would enter a recession. However, our scenario is much less negative than many others, as we assume that this will be countered by a policy response from government and the Bank of England. In this case, output still contracts slightly, but much less so than in the worst case scenario, and it soon picks up after that. Of course, there is also a much more positive scenario where uncertainty is reduced and confidence returns, perhaps in the light of a deal being agreed. In such a situation, we are likely to see a spike in new investment and in wider spending in the economy. In this best case scenario, we think that growth could surprise on the upside and be much closer to trend in 2019 and 2020. All of this comes at a time when the Scottish economy continues to grow, but does so at a relatively slow pace. The growth, though, is broad-based across most sectors. However, the data over the last year has continued to be a mixed bag. For example, whilst unemployment continues to be at a record low, productivity growth remains weak. Next month marks the 20th anniversary of the first elections to the devolved Scottish Parliament. In our view, Brexit, for better or worse, represents the greatest shake-up to our economy since devolution. In light of this, we discuss how policy needs to respond to this challenge to best prepare the nation's economy for the next 20 years. 20 years ago, those who established the Scottish Parliament had the hope that politics here in Scotland would take a different approach and usher in a new era of collective effort and decision making. In the light of Brexit, the need for that approach is more important than ever.